So we're going to take a look today. It's June 2017, and we're taking a look today at the nightly build of Ubuntu 17.10. And we're just going to run through the installer, see if it looks any different than the previous version. But what we're really here for is taking a look at the Gnome Desktop that they've now made the default, which is pretty cool. And it's, been interesting because they've used Unity for so long. So I figured, let's see how it looks and how the transitions are moving. I've been a long-time Ubuntu user. Ubuntu maybe is a little bit boring, but I like it because it's also really stable, which helps quite a bit when you have to use it as your production machine, which I've been using for quite a number of years. So I won't bore you with anything that's not really different. The same install third-party updates, continue. Most of this looks all pretty normal, so I'll just fast forward through a lot of this. All right, the first thing you notice when you log in on the login screen is the Gnome or Gnome Wayland. So we can choose each one of these here. So the default is just Gnome, and the other one's Gnome on Wayland. Now I understand from what I read, it's still running Light DM as the manager, but it's supposed to be moving over to GDM in the final parts. This is just what I've read in forums. So we're going to go ahead and do a standard login here, see what it does. And we're at our standard Gnome desktop if you're familiar with Gnome. So let's open up Firefox. And let's start opening up some more sessions, kind of see what it looks like here. We have our options menu here. We're kind of missing some. We have the files over here. Little hamburger bar, as they call it. So let's open up some other apps. It's a little bit sluggish, but I think that probably has to do a lot with my computer. I don't have good 3D graphics support with my, this is really laggy, but this is completely undoubtedly because I don't have the best graphics support through VirtualBox. It just, the 3D pass-through doesn't work. I got a fast video card, works great natively. This is a bug I've understood. VirtualBox just doesn't have wonderful speed support, so don't blame the lag on that. But yeah, we got kind of the Gnome, and we have the Workspaces here. I've always liked the way they handle the Workspaces in Gnome. It's kind of slick. I do like the right-click new folders back, because I always hated going up to the top to do that. Yeah, there's no progress bar. Well, of course, it probably copied too fast, so I'll have to find some bigger files to test that. But I like the activities. So you have the context menu showing up for whichever thing you're on. Standard Alt-Tab works, so you can do this. It switches you to the other workspaces. And then I can click the activities to go to each workspace, and then I can actually drag these over. That's nice. Standard Gnome features. Arrow keys can hard lock, so what I'm doing is it's the Alt Control left and right. Up is full, left side, right side, or I said that backwards, but you guys know what I mean. So you have that. Now let's see, what else do we have here in the launcher itself? There's the install release. The Amazon. I'm not thrilled that they put this in here. That's kind of annoying to me. But it seems to be, instead of integrated into the system, it's now opening it inside of your, I'm assuming, just a default browser. You can make that full screen. Now does each tab, let's see if we open up Firefox. Wow, that's really laggy. Like I said, I'm sure that's not the system, not a fault of that, but it could be, because I generally get way better performance in this, but I think it's really trying to rely on some of the 3D. So this is actually locked up and won't let me, the activities aren't locked, just Firefox is. So we're going to go ahead and close it. Close tabs. Start up something else. Open up another one. At least when I go to activities, they all shrink out, so I can choose which one by going over to the activities on here. Let's take a look at the Software Center in 17.10, see what changes they're making there. So let's take a look at how the install works. Kind of your standard GNOME screens, nothing really earth-shattering here, but I just kind of want to take a look at this, and let's go and let's handle some files on here. So let's see if it still works with some of the other things that I like, generally in Ubuntu. Make sure this support works. Well, that's good. You can still use standard URLs in the top. I think most distributions support that now. I haven't tested all of them, but that's a feature when they added it. Makes it really easy to jump back and forth. You can do SMB:// the IP address or a UNC path for a Samba share or a Windows share. And the same thing goes if you use SFTP, you can do SSH logins to that. So let's grab something like an ISO that we have here. I just want to see how the copy file works. So copy, and we'll copy it over to our downloads. Okay, it does pop up. We have the little download file transfer here. This is one of those small little features. I transfer and move a lot of files because I use Linux at my office as my standard install, my working system. So with doing that, it makes it really handy to see what file transfers are going. Now the downside is it's not a lot of grab space. So can we turn it off? All right. Well, apparently not. Once we've done this, it keeps it there. So we don't have a lot to grab onto. To move this around, we got to kind of grab in the middle. That's kind of tedious, but I know this is in beta, so that might have something to do with why that is. Activities. Yeah, the lagginess is kind of annoying. Let's take a look at what the full application dock looks like. We show applications here. There we go. Image Magic, LibreOffice is installed, software updater, install release, go right into the settings here. So see if the settings look any different. We can change the lock screen to be separate. That's nice. Background, we can change it to something less ugly. I'm used to seeing the Ubuntu one, but it's definitely not the prettiest background. Here's your privacy settings, screen lock, location, services, usage history, so we can clear recent history. It's nice, easily to turn that off. Display doesn't look, so we have the Nightlight option. Okay, that's interesting. Change the color tuning, warmer, that's a nice feature. Search and indexing features are in there. Notifications. Okay, this is nice. You can turn on what notifies you and notification pop-ups, whether or not you want them on the lock screen. Details of the computer. You can see that I'm running 1710. My Intel i7 4770 at 3.5. Like I said, it's not really, I got plenty of CPU, just probably it doesn't do well with the graphics on there. We have the update button right here in the details. And then we have all of our usual things, you know, mouse settings and printers. I wonder if it'll find my network printers. Let's see how good it works for this. Hey, there's my Dell. There's my HP LaserJet. Identified the Dell. Let's add it real quick. Oh, that was fairly quick. Installed it. It says ink level, but it's a laser printer, so it's toner level. But we'll send a test page. Let's see if that actually works. Looks pretty straightforward. Close. Apparently they don't have the test page option in here. So we'll use it as default. Open up Libreoffice Writer and we'll test print this. Double-clicking the title bar still maximizes. That's nice. And the left and right, those are nice little hotkeys to get it to move over to side like that. Which, to make this kind of fun, we could... it doesn't work with this window, so it does work with the applications you open. Test print. Dell. Could not start printer. So much for default working, which I was kind of surprised that Dell wasn't the most friendliest one. I had to do a little tweaking to get it to work in my my standard install of Ubuntu. File sharing. So we can turn this on or off. So turn that on. Well, this is kind of nice. So in your file sharing, you can get really specific wired connection, I guess, which network you're going to share it to, which is actually kind of handy because if I turn file sharing on my laptop and I swap to different networks, I guess that would be an option so I could actually lock it down so it doesn't share on networks that aren't my own. That's definitely kind of a neat feature. Of course, I never have file sharing on my laptop, so I take it to too many clients. Bluetooth support. And let's look at the power settings finally. Blank screen, automatic suspend. So not a lot of options, but I can close the screen. I'm sure there's going to be some tweaking tools that come out that let you work more with it. But overall, this is pretty slick. Here's the OS updates. It's reminding me that I have. Let's see how they load. I don't mind when they hide some of the things for the OS updates, but I kind of like the old one that had the little terminal thing that popped up. So is that only because I'm in here? I've seen there's a standard software updater, so let's take a look at it. Or did it just bring this one back up again? There we go. There's the one I'm used to seeing. It's waiting because this one's running right now. But overall, I'm not thinking this is too bad with GNOME. I think it'll be a lot faster natively on my graphics card. Some of the slowness, like I said, probably has a lot to do with the emulation of VirtualBox not being as smooth as Silk. But you can see they're really coming along with this. They've given up on Unity, which I've been in a Linux community long enough to know that no matter how many people hated it, there was enough people that loved it that there will be an argument of all the Unity lovers that are mad it's gone and all the GNOME lovers that are going, yay, but then someone's going to be mad because they're, as I understand, discontinuing the GNOME version of Ubuntu because it's not needed anymore. So computer's up to date. Look at the settings for this. This is so far, it hasn't crashed on me, which is good. I don't know that I'm ready to, turn it into my production machine, but GNOME's got a nice look. I've always liked GNOME. I'm also, toying with KDE Neon because it's such a beautiful project as far as eye candy, but this is definitely very usable, very modern and slick. I like the way the activities go there and the ability to jump to a desktop, add something to it, and we can say, no, we want this to be part of that. Oh, well, let me drag it there so I can drag it to here. There we go. So I guess you're saying it wouldn't let me move it back. So say I can move it back now. Can I move it to this one? Yeah, there we go. And it'll let you switch between the apps. So pretty slick. Not unhappy with it. So this is kind of a first look. I mean, we do a full review as it gets a little bit more mature. But this is a first look of Ubuntu 17.10 with the Gnome Desktop. So yeah, pretty neat. I'm not unhappy with this at all. Like, this is very usable. I still got my little file transfer and copy things popping up, which makes me happy for file transfers. But they kind of need something to get a grip on this because I only have this little spot. And when it was transferring files, that little spot's really small to try to just easily grab a hold of that. But everything else looks good. Can't really complain. It's coming along fine. There's the preferences. All right, so we got some of the things up here. But I'm sure this project will come along great. I'm kind of excited to see the change because I like Unity. It's very functional, but I like the little bit of extras and a more modern feel I think you get with GNOME or even the KDE project. But like I said, this is a quick look at the Ubuntu 17.10 Nightlies with the default GNOME Desktop. Thanks for watching. If you like the content here, like and subscribe.